Hello everyone and welcome. For those of you new here, my name's Nikki. My channel is dedicated to all things literature, and I especially focus on doing book reviews for lesser known or indie authors like myself. For everyone who's already heard this spiel before, welcome back. The book I want to talk to you guys about today is Regina Rising by Wendy Tolliver, and I'm hoping I said that name right. So, Regina Rising is a companion novel to the Once Upon a Time TV series, and with the series finale airing this Friday, and if you can't tell, I'm a huge fan of the show, and I'm a little sad to see that it's ending, and I don't know what I'm going to watch from now on. I figured now would be the perfect time to talk about this book. So, everyone knows that the evil queen is known as the villain in a Snow White fairy tale. She's a woman so vain that she tries to kill Snow so that she would remain the fairest of them all. In Once Upon a Time, Regina is one of the most complex characters in the entire show. She has some family issues, she's known heartache throughout her life, and she tries to do the right thing, but it just seems that the universe is against her, and she's always the one that ends up getting hurt. Life has made this woman bitter, and throughout the TV show, we see how the evil queen actually came to be from who Regina was as a child. The show dives into the backgrounds of what makes this and other fairy tale characters tick, but I was still really excited to read about teenage Regina and her life before all the events that take place in the show. Regina Rising follows 16-year-old Regina Mills. She has an extremely strict and controlling mother, so she's grown up basically alone in a very cold, unfriendly environment. Her father is sweet and loving, and she absolutely adores him. But he's afraid of Cora just as much as she is, and afraid of what Cora's magic can do, so Regina gets pushed around by her mom. Plus, now she's old enough that Cora is starting to shop around for a royal husband. So Regina is getting extra crap from her mom other than the normal be perfect that she's grown up with. However, then she meets Claire. Claire is a few years older than Regina, and they quickly become friends. Regina is seriously my favorite character from Once Upon a Time, so it was really nice to see her as a younger girl and see all the things that led up to her becoming the evil queen that we know and love, and to see what she and her friends would do before all the awfulness that made her so hard and bitter to life. Regina Rising made her seem almost normal. While she's dealing with the awkwardness of her first crush, she's trying to appease her overbearing mother, but it also had those elements of magic that we're used to when she's trying to learn how to use it for the first time and how to outsmart the blind witch. And Regina Rising brings all these fairy tales that we know and love that we've seen in the show, but it takes it back in time to where it's, I guess, more simpler, and we see how a younger version of Regina manages. As always, things fall apart for Regina when she's trying to learn who she can and can't trust. And like I said, shit always hits the fan for this poor girl. So the book was really enjoyable and I did like it, but it had several inconsistencies from the show that we know in terms of Regina's personality and a few of the supporting characters that are in the show and that were mentioned again in the book. The TV version of Regina does everything that she does because of love. Even when she's trying to destroy Snow White and get rid of happy endings, she's motivated by her own broken heart. She's not this cold, heartless woman. Everything is because she loves somebody or loved somebody or she's hurt. It all stems from the same place inside of her. Some of her actions throughout this book, however, really contradicted that idea. If you've seen the series, then you'll know that Regina is good. She's a good person. She's innocent, right up to the point where Daniel dies. So here's my biggest problem with book Regina. She's already getting a dark side for some uncharacteristic reasons. From what we already know of Regina is she's compassionate and she's loyal. While she does have trust issues, she wouldn't stab someone she cared about in the back the way she did in the book. At least not at that point in her life. I mean, yeah, the evil queen would do something like that, but not 16-year-old Regina. Yes, she's angry and hurt, but she wouldn't throw someone under the bus the way she did in this novel. So it really did kind of bug me that she wasn't illustrated as the sweet person that we've seen as Regina's grown up in Once Upon a Time. Regina, if you've seen season 6 of the show, is really a different person than the evil queen. So it just didn't make sense that the evil queen is already making her appearance before she should be. It didn't make sense that she let her anger get the best of her to the point where she would betray one of the few people she actually cares about, especially when she finds out that Cora has been controlling and blackmailing this person the entire time. The evil queen, like I said, has no problem hurting everyone around her, but she didn't exist yet. Another thing that I had issues with from book Regina was her love life. Like I said, love for Regina is her biggest motivator. So I'm kind of wondering how the book got her love interest so wrong. And if you've read this, I'm not talking about the guy she has a crush on. I'm talking about her relationship with the stable boy, who was supposed to be named Daniel, not Jesse. Come on! Is that even supposed to be the same guy? Because if it is, there's absolutely no chemistry between them. This is supposed to be the great love of Regina's life. The reason she hates Snow White so much, and the reason she cast the evil curse to get revenge. I get right now her focus is on a different guy that she's crushing on, so Stable Boy is not a main character like he has been portrayed in season 1 of the TV series, but there's just nothing in their brief interactions that would make me believe that he would be the reason she casts the dark curse in the show. Regina became the evil queen because of this guy, so why does he feel like just some random character thrown in the book? And one more thing that I'm going to say that kind of bothers me from this book is the deal that she makes with her mom towards the end. And there's going to be a little bit of spoilers here. We know that Cora, Regina's mother, does everything she can to try to get Regina to be a queen. To marry a king, rule her own kingdom, and just be the top of the food chain. Regina says that she'll do everything she can. She'll meet any royal suitor that her mom points her at and try to make a good match, try to make the most of it. But the whole TV series started because she was in love with the stable boy, and she didn't give a damn about becoming queen. So this promise that she gives to Cora just doesn't fit with her, like with what she would actually do based on TV Regina. And you're probably tired of me saying it by now, but Regina does everything she does out of love. So there's no way that she would willingly agree to marry someone she doesn't love just to appease Cora. That's kind of where all of their issues stem from. On the other side of this, I will say the thing that I loved the most about this book was Cora, Regina's mother. This bitch is a piece of work. She's like one of those pageant moms who live vicariously through her daughters, and we don't get to see a ton of Cora's relationship with Regina in the show. Spoiler, she's dead. We know why she's obsessed with power and control and making Regina a queen, but you never really see them together. It was really awesome to see her being an actual mom and not just this side villain of the show. You finally get to see how she raises Regina, and more than seeing her pushing Regina to become the queen, you see a few moments where she acts like a real caring, protective mother. One of my favorite scenes is a flashback where Regina is a little girl and she's afraid of the thunder, and prim and proper Cora actually sleeps in Regina's room with her so that she won't be scared and alone. You never see this side of her in the show, and I just really found that refreshing to know that Cora is still human. Despite everything, there is a part of her that cares more for Regina as her daughter versus Regina as a means to her ends. Cora herself is a really complex character, like all of the characters in Once Upon a Time, but it was really awesome to see her more in-depth than what the few flashbacks of the show can give. After everything, it kind of just ends. I was kind of left just like, that's it. It doesn't really give much more depth to Regina than the show did. This is set several years before the events that kickstart the plot to Once, so it makes sense it doesn't intertwine with the series, but it was just completely disconnected. Change a couple names and you've got a story that isn't even related to Once Upon a Time. For Regina Rising, I would have to say I liked it, but it was one of those that I most likely won't be reading again, and I didn't like it as part of the series of the show. Overall, I did like it as its own separate entity. Alright, so that's it for today. Those are my thoughts on Regina Rising by Wendy Tolliver. I think I'm saying that right. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed my review, and you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Links are listed below. I post new videos on Mondays, so ring the little bell down there, and I'll see you the next time. Bye!